Welcome to Premier League Gameweek 22 recap. So Man City beat Arsenal to go top of the league, Leicester smashed Spurs 4-1, Gakpo scored his first goal for Liverpool to help them beat their local rivals, and much more as we cover in this video. West Ham played Chelsea and drew 1-1. It took 18 minutes for deadlock to be broken in this match, as João Felix was returned to the Chelsea squad, volleying the ball into the back of the net to get his first goal for Chelsea. This is a good way to make up for the straight red card he received on his debut a month ago, which saw him suspended for Chelsea's previous 3 Premier League matches. However, this goal alone wasn't enough for Chelsea to secure the 3 points. This is because just 12 minutes after this goal, West Ham got one back, with ex-Chelsea defender Emerson being the man to level the game. This made it 1-1, and although both teams did get the ball into the back of the net before and after this, these goals were ruled out for offside, and in the end the points were split, which Chelsea will probably view as 2 points dropped, as they are up against a side who's fighting for survival and were better than them for the majority of this match. Arsenal faced Brentford and drew 1-1, seeing Arsenal drop points in the title race for a second week in a row. This was a tie match with not much separating the two sides, and the point for both teams probably was the fair outcome. However, the manner in which Brentford secured this point was riddled with controversy. It was Arsenal who took lead first, with Leandro Trossard scoring his first goal in an Arsenal shirt just 4 minutes into being on the pitch, putting Arsenal on course for 3 points and set out to recover from their loss against Everton the week earlier. However, not long after this, Norgard assisted Ivan Toney for Brentford's equaliser to make the scoreline 1-1. Now the issue with this goal is that Lee Mason on the VAR forgot to draw the offside lines on Norgard, and if these had been drawn, the goal wouldn't have stood. Now obviously this is an outrageous mistake to make, and PG Mo apologised to Arsenal, but at the end of the day, an apology isn't going to get Arsenal those extra 2 points, which they would have gotten had Lee Mason literally done his job properly. Forgetting to check for offside when it's basically the sole purpose of your job is criminal. Crystal Palace came up against Brighton and drew 1-1. Estupiñán got the ball into the back of the net half an hour into this match, we should have seen Brighton go 1-0 up. However, another VAR mistake was made, and in this case, it was the offside lines being drawn on the wrong Palace defender, which saw this goal get ruled out when it would have stood had the lines been drawn on the correct player. The goal being ruled out meant it stayed at 0-0 going into half time, and it wasn't until the 63rd minute when the deadlock was officially broken, with Solly March scoring from Estupiñán's great cross. Crystal Palace quickly responded to this goal though, just a few minutes later, Tompkins capitalised on a horrible mistake by Rob Sanchez, which saw the two teams go level, when the scoreline remained at 1-1 until the end of the match. This meant Brighton had to settle for just a point against one of the most hated rivals after dominating the match across all metrics and having a goal wrongfully disallowed due to the incompetence of the person on VAR. Fulham were up against Tottenham Forest and beat them 2-0. This was a dominant performance of Fulham, with their first goal coming through a fantastic strike by Willian 17 minutes into this match. Fulham had several chances to extend their lead after this, but left it late to seal the win, as it wasn't until the 88th minute when substitute Solomon was left unmarked and struck the ball past keeper to make it 2-0. This helped Fulham secure an important 3 points as they looked to get European football in their first season back in the Prem. Leicester played Tottenham and defeated them 4-1. With Tottenham being off the back of a win against Man City and Leicester being in the midst of a relegation battle, Tottenham winning the match was the expected outcome, but the complete opposite happened. Despite the heavy defeat, it was Tottenham who took the lead first in this match, with Bentancur tapping the ball in from close range to put Leicester a goal down. The scoreline didn't stay at 1-0 for long though, as less than 10 minutes after this, Mendy scored his first goal in 8 years of a rocket of a strike. James Maddison followed this up with a goal of his own a couple minutes later, and at a stroke of half time, Iniacho scored to put Leicester 3-1 up at the break. Spurs had a pretty poor second half performance, which made it fairly easy for Leicester to hold onto their lead, and then in the 81st minute, Harvey Barnes increased Leicester's lead to 3 goals. Southampton were up against Wolves and lost 2-1, seeing Nathan Jones sacked as their manager after just 3 months. It was Southampton who opened a scoring in this match, with Alcaraz on his first Premier League start striking the ball in off the post to make it 1-0 24 minutes in. Then just 3 minutes after this goal, Wolves went down to their men when Lamina was given a second yellow card for simply approaching the referee. This was yet another horrific refereeing decision that took place this game week, and it seemed like this red card was going to end up in Wolves losing the match against their relegation rivals. However, Wolves kept fighting, and with about 20 minutes left until the end of the match, they were given a lifeline when Bednarek gifted them a goal to make it 1-1. Wolves then touched for a second to complete their comeback in the final minutes of the game, and then in the 87th minute, João Gomez on his debut for Wolves shot the ball past keeper to win the match for his side. Bournemouth faced Newcastle and drew 1-1. This match has extended Newcastle's unbeaten run to 17 league games, but despite this was a pretty poor result for them considering they have aspirations to make top 4 this season, and Bournemouth were all the way down in the bottom 3, meaning this should be a game they win. It took half an hour for that look to be broken in this match, with Senesi scoring his first ever goal for Bournemouth from a corner to give them an unlikely lead against Newcastle. However, Newcastle didn't remain a goal down for long, as right before the whistle blew for half time, Almiron scored on the rebound to level the game. This made it 1-1, and although both teams had the chances to score another in the second half, they were unable to make the most out of these chances, and the points were shared. Leeds came up against Man United and lost 2-0. These two teams faced each other in the league less than a week before this match and drew 2-2, and for a large portion of this match, it seemed like they're heading towards yet another draw. However, that will change in the 80th minute when Rashford headed the ball into the back of the net to make it so he now has 8 goals in 9 league matches since the return of club football. Then just 5 minutes after this goal, Garnacho shot the ball past keeper to secure the win for Man United, who are now becoming the player with the most goal contributions off the bench this season in the league. Conceding 2 late goals would have been painful for Leeds as they had better chances overall, and if they were more clinical with these chances, they may have came away with a point. Man City played Aston Villa and beat them 3-1. Man City dominated Villa in this match, with all 3 of their goals coming in the first half, with the first being scored by Rodri just 4 minutes in. The next 2 goals were then scored by Gundogan and Mahrez to put Villa 3 goals down at half time, basically eliminating any hope they had of pulling off an upset in this match. Villa did manage to get a goal themselves for Ollie Watkins in the 61st minute, but he failed to score another, and in the end, Man City were able to pick up an important important 3 points in the title race. Liverpool were up against Everton and defeated their Merseyside rivals 2-0. With Liverpool being off the back of a 3-0 loss to Wolves and Everton meeting Arsenal, it seemed like Everton had the best chance in a long while to come out victorious in the Merseyside derby. However, despite their great result last week, they found themselves struggling against their rivals and eventually went a goal down in 36th minute when Salah took advantage of Pickford's poor positioning and scored. This made it 1-0 at half time, and soon into the second half, Gakpo scored his first goal for Liverpool to extend their lead and help them put an end to their 3-game winners run. Finally, Arsenal faced Man City and lost 3-1, seeing Arsenal drop down to second in the league after spending weeks at the top. This was a highly anticipated match between first and second in the league. With Arsenal not being the greatest of form, most people predicted City to win it, and that's exactly what happened. It was Kevin De Bruyne who put scoring this match, who capitalised on an error by Tomiyasu and making it 1-0 for wonder strike. Arsenal managed to make it 1-1 before the break, however, with Saka sending it in the wrong way from the penalty spot to level the game. This would have given Arsenal hope that they could send their lead at the top, but in the second half they played pretty poorly, and 2 goals in 10 minutes from Grealish and Haaland saw Arsenal go 3-1 down and surrender the top spot in the league to Man City. Anyway, that's Premier League Gameweek 22 recap. If you made it this far, enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and more share, comment your opinions on any of the matches happening this game week. With that being said, have a good one guys. See ya.